Again, this is John Paval with Access Arts Live. I'm here to give you a weekend update uniquely for Sunday, November 3rd. There was so much going on this weekend, and I was traveling from Stockholm to Paris. There was just no way to do the whole weekend in one weekend update. There was too much going on, and I'm so happy to tell you that. As you tune in and you follow this, I hope you will find a lot of material that will interest you, as there is so much going on. Let's get right to it with what I've been promising to do. I've been promising to tell you since the beginning of the week a little bit about the opera that we have for you on Sunday, or that the La Scala Opera House has for you on Sunday. Fixing my bow tie as I habitually do. Okay. Sunday, November 3rd, 2:15 in the afternoon, European time, 8:15 in the morning on the East Coast, too early 5:15 in the morning on the West Coast, unless you're a Wagner fanatic, but a lovely 10:15 p.m. Down under in Australia, a daylight time, which they've been on since the beginning of October. And all these other times are getting adjusted because now finally the U.S. has gone off daylight time like Europe. Anyway, the La Scala Opera House will be doing a part of an ambitious effort to do the whole ring cycle this Sunday. It's Das Rheingold. They brought in tried and true veterans to do this first new production of Der Ring des Nibelungen in 10 years' time. Simon Young to be the conductor, and David McVicker. If you follow the Teatro alla Scala, you know he staged everything for them from Cavalli to Berlioz to Verdi. So he's the main man. Now, let me present to you the people who will be the main ones in the cast. I've got a picture of them all for you while I'm telling you about it, but you can't see the picture on Instagram because Instagram doesn't play well with the other live streams on our multi-stream platform, which is Restream, which we're so happy to have. In the role of Wotan, you have Michael Volle. If you want to know how he does with this role, he played it with the New York Met back in 2019, before all the COVID madness shut everything down. We'll provide you a link in the comments section to an article in the New York Times in which 3 different opera critics gave just a highly winning appraisal of what a great job Michael Volle did in that role. Now he'll have another conductor, another director here, but if he's that good, he's that good. No matter what the conductor or director tries to do to him, it's the main man. So I commend to you. Look up the New York Times article. Anything I would say, I'd just be repeating what they already said in there. So why should I pretend that I'm the expert? They're the experts. Check it out. Next up in the role of Donner is Andre Schuin. You may not know it, but Andre Schuin was originally a cellist who then decided to take up singing and became the well-known baritone that he is now. He's a Deutsche Grammophon artist. He's frequently seen in the opera, what would you call it, the opera festival circuit, and also he loves to sing Lieder as well, and he's also well known on the concert hall circuit, places like Wigmore Hall and its equivalent in other countries. Next up, after he does this, he'll be playing a role that he seems to favor a lot in the past, and again in the future. He'll be playing the Count Almaviva in Figaro at the Zurich Opera House. Then next up, among the principals in the role of Fro is Siyabonga Makungo, the South African tenor who has been a part of the Staatsoper unter den Linden ensemble since 2021, so 3 or 4 years now. The kinds of roles he's been singing with them are David and Die Meistersinger von Nürnberg. He too has sung the role of Count Almaviva. He's already sung this role, Fro, in Das Rheingold for the Unter den Linden Ensemble, and Tamino in die Zauberflöte, and Jacquino in Fidelio. And then finally, the fourth of the main principles here is tenor Vienna-born Norbert Ernst. And, I was looking over his bio to figure out how to talk to him about this guy. Norbert Ernst is constantly being brought in to save shows. He came in at the premiere of Tannhäuser at the Royal Opera House, Covent Garden in London some years ago for the premiere, and then several performances and saved the show. He did the same thing playing Tristan and Tristan Isolde at the Slovak Philharmonic in Bratislava. And at the Vienna State Opera, he came in saving the day playing the role of Paul in Die Todesstadt, which is an opera which I love so much. And although I'm a tenor, I did do a show in which I was singing what is the name of that beautiful waltz-like song in Die Todesstadt? I can't remember the name of it, but it's just absolutely gorgeous. I am a great fan of Korngold. So that's what the La Scala Opera House is offering you tomorrow on Sunday, November 3rd. Now, it will cost you something. It will cost you €9.90 or $11 to watch it. And then I think they allow you to watch it for a week thereafter. But it's not like on some of the German websites like the Berlin Philharmonic or Stage Plus, where you get a whole month of viewing for, say, €16. No, this is all you get is Das Rheingold. But for lovers of opera, here's a chance to hear an experienced hand at singing Wotan. You can check the New York Times to see how good he is and if he's the kind that you want to hear. And if so, have a good time. Next up is another show that's near and dear to my heart. I am a great believer in getting theater online, and we have less of it than we have anything else. We have less of it than we have opera. We have less of it than we have ballet, and there's not a lot of ballet or dance being live streamed, and far less of it than we have classical music. But Sunday afternoon, you have a chance to enjoy another theatrical event online. Last week, it was The American Soldier being live streamed from the Kennedy Center. This one is really something. Actor Christopher Kent and pianist Gamal Kamas will be performing Shakespeare's Venus and Adonis. That's right, it's a poem, it's not a play, with music by Mendelssohn. This will be live streamed by St. Mary's Perivale, which has a tremendous series of recitals, 2 or 3 every week. This will be at 3:00 p.m. London time, 4:00 in the afternoon European time, 10 in the morning on the East Coast, 7 in the morning on the West Coast. Worth getting up early for, I'm telling you. It's hard to find theater, musical theater of this kind. And 2:00 in the morning, Australian Daylight Time, late Sunday night, and it's worth staying up late for. Shakespeare wrote Venus and Adonis when he wasn't able to be doing any plays. It was during the plague years, 1592 and 93, in London, when the theaters were all closed. Those of us who have lived through COVID, when they closed all the theaters, we know what they're talking about. I had a huge project going that was shut down because of it. Anyway, and it's a retelling of an Ovid tale about the goddess of love falling in love with the most beautiful of mortals, Adonis, and Venus, the goddess of love, or Aphrodite in the original Greek. And Shakespeare was a sucker for everything in Ovid, I can tell you that. Mendelssohn comes into it as a composer who loves Shakespeare and actually wrote incidental music for Shakespeare's A Midsummer Night's Dream. And he also wrote some music which was wildly popular during his time. As soon as it came out, his 8 volumes of Songs Without Words, which he published between 1829 and 1845, instantly popular. Now, so this is the music they're using with the Venus and Adonis. Now, I can't really describe it to you, but for example, the list of the songs that they're going to be, without words, are going to be playing is like this. Opus 19B, Book 1, Number 1 in E major. I just don't think that's going to tell you anything about what you'll be hearing. But if you love Mendelssohn, or if you don't, this is such a lovely occasion. Now, I have a picture here of Kent and Comus at work, which I want you to know, because these guys have been at work with each other for a long time, folks, since 8 years now, and longer than that, because it was in 2016 that they presented their first piece of this kind. And it was called Never Such Innocence. It was a narrative recital of words and music from the First World War. And people loved it. And then in 2019, they did another similar piece called Odyssey, Words and Music of Finding Home, because the story of Odyssey, of course, is Odysseus trying to get home after the Trojan War and everything he went through on the way, that kept him from getting home. And that was done with specially commissioned works by contemporary poets and composers. Then in 2020, they came up with Enoch Arden by Strauss and Tennyson. So it's Tennyson with music by Strauss. And that was live streamed by St. Mary's Perivale. And it got a global audience and turned into a highly acclaimed CD release. Then in 2022, I'm not done yet, they did a piece called An Exquisite Harmony, the lives, loves, and music of Robert and Clara Schumann and Johannes Brahms. What a story that is. And this newest piece is a commission piece, and it's already scheduled. Hold on a second. Let me take this off so I can be winding up this without the pictures. There you go. That's how you got me again. Ma gueule, as the French would say. This piece is already successful because it's been commissioned by the Shakespearean Music Festival in Stratford to be performed there next year at their 2025 festival. This is a great experience to have. And I highly commend it to you. I hope some of you will log on. If you do, you will find that the St. Mary's Perivale live streams always draw all kinds of people in the chat box. Many of us, we know each other. I've started going there, so I've become familiar with some of them. And it's like getting to sit in the back row and crack jokes or pass each other notes without the ushers being able to shush you because they can't hear you. And usually also there's the moderator there, Sir Hugh, who gives you background information about what's going on and all of that. And St. Mary's Perivale setting is a very intimate setting too. This is not hundreds of people. This is dozens of people, but it's big enough so you have a real audience there. And it's just a great experience, an example to me of what the global performing arts audience can become. So I commend this to you as well. And there's more. We're just getting started. The next thing that's up at Sunday at the same time, look, if you absolutely don't want to enjoy that, and instead you want to spend some money on Beethoven sonatas, I put out a separate video about this, which you can check out on any of our pages, Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, Threads, X, TikTok, etc. Fabian Müller, the German pianist, will be playing 4 Beethoven sonatas. It's the beginning of a project where he's going to play all of the Beethoven sonatas over a period of 8 different sessions. And that will be live streamed by Stage Plus. The next piece I want to tell you about and recommend to you is another great experience of truth and beauty online. The Detroit Symphony Orchestra has done it again. They've put together a concert this Sunday afternoon, 3 o'clock in the afternoon Eastern Standard Time, which will be noon on the West Coast, and a lovely 9 o'clock in the evening. Yeah, that's got to be 9 o'clock in the evening in Europe. It's Russian classics. They'll start out doing Daniel Slatkin's Voyager 130. That's a contemporary composition by a relatively young composer. Then they'll do Rachmaninoff's Piano Concerto No. 4 with a terrific pianist at the keyboard. And then in the second half, they'll be doing Prokofiev's Symphony No. 5. I mean, how does it get any better than that? If you like Russian music, well, I'll tell you how it gets better than that. First of all, why are they doing Daniel Slatkin's music? Well, because he's the son of Leonard Slatkin, who for many years was the music director and conductor at the Detroit Symphony Orchestra. He is now the music director laureate of the orchestra. He's also the honorary musical director of the Orchestre National de Lyon in Lyon, France. He's also the conductor laureate of the St. Louis Symphony Orchestra. And he, even though he's sort of retired, he just maintains a busy schedule, guest conducting and composing and writing and educating people. And by the way, with his recording, Slatkin has received 6 Grammy Awards and 35 nominations. So that's how it gets even better. But look, it gets even better than this. It gets even better than this because of the pianist. This is Olga Kern. And this is Olga Kern. And here's some more pictures of the glamorous, highly talented, working on becoming legendary Olga Kern. Let me tell you just a little bit about this Steinway artist. When she was only 17, she won first prize at the Rachmaninoff International Piano Competition. So maybe some years later, she'll know what she's doing when she plays Rachmaninoff's Piano Concerto No. 4 with the Detroit Symphony under a prized conductor. In 2001, she became the only woman in a half century to win the gold medal at the Van Cliburn International Piano Competition. And these days, we're 20 years later. Now she's on the jury for that kind of thing. Not only that, she has her own Olga Kern International Piano Competition. You can find. Let me take away this distracting photo. You can find it on Wikipedia, and it has one of those boxes where it lists the winners each year in the competition. Just the way the other big competitions work. And she in 2012 she established the Kern Foundation Aspiration Program to support talented musicians around the world. And she's on the piano faculty at the Manhattan School of Music, just to throw something in. This is what Olga Vladimirovna Kern has become and has made of herself with her career. And this is the woman who will be dishing up Rachmaninoff's Concerto No. 4 for you on Sunday under the golden baton of Leonard Slatkin. And it's free of charge. If that doesn't motivate you to tune in at no cost to enjoy the experience of truth and beauty that they'll be putting their hearts, minds, and souls into, I don't know what will. Have a good time. Well, there's a lot of other things going on, and I have to only go into them briefly for you because we are already almost at the 20-minute mark, and I try to keep these down to at least 20 minutes. There's music going from medieval inspiration to music exploiting the latest electronics. In the afternoon, I'm going to give you the precise times and links to get to all of these. So I will skip repeating all those numbers for you so I can get through this a little more quickly. First of all, there's the Brooklyn Art Song Society, which is bringing you an ensemble of sopranos and pianists to present songs by modern American composers, but they're based on medieval works. So they'll be doing Samuel Barber's Hermit Songs, Opus 29, which is based on these old texts called Marginalia. They'll be doing Gilda-Leon's Songs of Lament and Praise. They'll be doing some new arrangements by David Ludwig from Juilliard of the works of Guillaume de Machaut. And there's also a half an hour before the concert, there's a lecture by David Ludwig, but I don't know if that's carried in the live stream or not. If I were you, I would log on a half hour early if this interests you. Now, the other thing is they're doing two songs by Libby Larsen, who's a Grammy Award-winning composer, who says things like this: music exists in an infinity of sound. I think of all music as existing in the substance of the air itself. It is the composer's task to order and make sense of sound in time and space, to communicate something about being alive through music. How can you disagree with that? And what I like about it is to my mind, composers don't make up music. They find it. It is inherent in the multitude of sound that has been created. Whether you believe there's a creator, as I do, who created all the sound and embedded all the music in it, or whether you just realize there is this potential of music in all sound. And the composer finds it. That's why someone as young as like a Mozart, the little kid, could come up. He didn't make up all these melodies. He found them. He just had an amazing ability to tune into the music that was there. Now, if that doesn't suit you, well, later on Sunday, you can listen to the newest electronic chamber music with Constellation Chicago in a show that's called Rhythm is Image. And this will be Jamie Monk on the electric guitar and Hannah Barnes handling the electronics. Hannah Barnes had this idea of creating something called Rhythm is Image, so she has put this together. And she is still currently a student studying for her doctorate, I think it is, at McGill University, and composing things like this, mixing electronics with other kinds of music. And Jamie Monk is an electric guitarist, but he's also a lover and performer of Bach, and he appears at Bach festivals playing Bach on the guitar. So you can have it either. You can have more traditional or early traditional chamber music, or the more advanced, or tune into both of them. Then, to end your evening, you might want to close it out. There's a couple of live streams from out on the West Coast in the state of Washington. The state of Washington just loves chamber music, I got to tell you. There's so much that comes out of it. And these two things are at 3:00 p.m. on the West Coast. The Northwest Chamber Orchestra and Chorus are live streaming an election eve conference with contemporary songs by composers like David Lang, like the national anthems and, quote, A Statement to the Court, Joel Thompson's Hold Fast to Your Dreams, and interestingly enough, again, a piece by Guillaume de Machaut called Tu qui gregem plange regni res publica, motet number 22, which I think is something about, it's about the Republic, I'll tell you that, but my Latin isn't good enough. My Greek was always better. And that's on YouTube for free, but they ask you to pay what you can on another link. And finally, to close off your All Saints weekend, if you hadn't had a chance to attend a Requiem or something like that, the Epiphany Seattle Church and Chorus is live streaming for you. What could be better than Fauré's Requiem to finish off your evening free of charge? And that's the way. If you don't know it, if you do know it's or if you're trying to remember which one it is, it's the one that has Pie Jesu dona eis requiem, etc. And that's sung by a soprano, actually. And then the wonderful ending in Paradisum, that ends with Jerusalem, 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 Jerusalem. Anyway, sometimes I can't resist just doing a lot of singing along with you. Well, we're almost at 25 minutes. Please think about subscribing to us or following us, especially on YouTube. So maybe we can one day start live streaming, or follow us on Facebook, Instagram, X, TikTok, Threads, LinkedIn, wherever you may have stumbled across this live stream or the recording of this live stream. And remember, when you participate in a live stream, it's not like watching a recording. When you participate in a live stream, there are living, breathing artists who are pouring their heart, mind, and soul into creating an experience of truth and beauty for your heart, mind, and soul, together sharing this as a group. And I can tell you, when you share these things online, especially when there's an open chat box like that on YouTube, you're a part of that audience. And that's not true when you're looking at a recording. It's just there's no connection between you and the artist. They're gone. They've gone fishing. They're having lunch. They're visiting family. Who knows what? They're on vacation in Zanzibar. Who knows? But they're not there pouring out their heart, mind, and soul for you to share that experience with you. That's the wonderful social event, which is live streaming, and I commend it to you. So ciao for now. Enjoy that Sunday. There's got to be something in that list of what I just gave you that will be thrilling for you and uplift you and inspire you